following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Talkin' Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It is a Talkin' Tuesday edition of Talkin' Cowboys presented by Tostitos, helping fans get in on the game. Once again, from the Star in Frisco, alongside Heckma Harrison, Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips. We've got Chris Beam, as always, in the back. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us here over the next 45 minutes. We are going to preview the Las Vegas offense versus the Dallas defense, and we're going to take your calls as well. 888-855-2297. That is 888-855-2297. We'll do that coming up here in just a little bit. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Peachy.
Peachy?
Swell, and peachy as well. Doing good. We're embracing the short week, aren't we?
Yeah. No, you got to get after it.
Just 24-hour rule. Let's get out.
Get in, get out. Let's not talk about that last game.
I'm confused. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time. What's going on, man? We got a game on Thursday. So this is officially our
Thursday.
Oh, yeah. This is the Jason Garrett thing. It's like it's a Wednesday, but it's really like it's a Wednesday, Thursday, and then tomorrow will be like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
It's actually Friday.
It's Friday?
Well,
yeah, because today's Thursday.
Yeah, but we've got two shows later. For them, it's a Friday. For us, it's a Thursday.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
I'm saying it's a Friday.
It's a Friday. Okay, cool.
Friday to them.
40-hour rule.
Mike
Tuesday
McCarthy
to us.
Yeah.
That's what
Mike McCarthy was talking about it yesterday. He said it looked like a Wednesday when they walked in because they had all the packets and stuff, and the quality control was all there, and they were ready for the Vegas Raiders whenever they walked in the door, which is good. And the Cowboys are back on the practice field today. Rob, what does a week of practice look like this week whenever it is such limited time to get ready for Thursday?
It's no pads. It's in and out. Almost like not meetings on the field, but very, very light. And Mike referenced it yesterday, especially once again with these uncommon opponents that they have not had a ton of success against in this AFC West. It's a lot of film study. It's a lot of quick crash course on what these guys do well. And there is some familiarity, especially with the coaching staffs on the defensive side of the ball. But, I think it's probably more mental than physical this week.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for this team? Because I don't know if I really know that answer yet after what we've seen to the last 3 weeks.
That's a good point. A lot of flashcards. a lot of flashcards to Rob's point this week. It's mental. I mean, you physically can't go beat your guys down. They're still recovering. I mean, it takes Sunday game. We're on Tuesday. Your body honestly doesn't start feeling better until about Wednesday of a normal week. So tomorrow, guys will be like, all right, that game is starting to come up off me a little bit. Yeah. And so, I mean, then you're at the 24-hour rule. So you can't do a lot physically because you will still literally be recovering from last week's game.
No, I mean, both of you guys are spot on, and the way that you handle this is just trying to get – I don't even know if these guys can be healthy by Thursday. You just limp into Thursday. And right now, I guess what I've been thinking about watching the Raiders is, man, could we potentially be playing the right team at the wrong moment right now?
Interesting.
And so I just – look, there's a lot about them offensively and defensively that – if you start fast, you go in there, you handle your businesses, you can make this an easy game, or you could make this a long Thanksgiving for everybody.
Yes, you could very easily. We're going to get into that coming up here in just a little bit. But first, news and notes. A couple guys given some updates on yesterday. Mike McCarthy was at the podium. We'll start with CeeDee Lamb. What's the possibility of him getting out of concussion protocol and ready to go for Thursday?
I mentioned yesterday on the show, and it does sound promising or possible. Mike said he was in all the meetings yesterday, so that is encouraging. There's a multi-step process to eventually getting back on the field. You have to pass all these separate steps in the concussion protocol, but it's possible. You got 2 days left, so we'll see there. And DeMarcus Lawrence is getting closer. He's going to be starting his practice window soon. maybe as early as this week. And I wouldn't look for him to play in this game, but Saints are next week. Possibility. So
Who dat?
Starting to get healthy. And it looks so I guess he's ahead of schedule compared to like a Randy Gregory or Neville Gallimore in terms of being activated at this point.
It's crazy.
What has taken so long for Neville Gallimore? Was there a setback there that we don't know about, or was there something
Elbow,
going on
man.
there because of it was a dislocated elbow?
That's a lot for a interior defensive lineman.
I see,
That's
and I
what
don't.
they said.
That's a
It's
whole
been-
hell of a lot.
Disagree.
I mean, you're pressing against 300-plus pounders every play. You're reaching. You're literally trying to shed
That's
blocks
your
and reach
leverage.
out there, and which got him in trouble the first time, right? You're engaged with a block, and now you're trying to reach out and stop another 200-some pound man running full speed. That elbow has to be right. And there's a lot of ligaments and joints in there which have to be strengthened. So and I'm pretty sure he'll be out there playing with the good old Don Joy, knee brace as an elbow brace on there, like
Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith. Yeah.
You should patent that.
That's a bad injury though for a defensive lineman.
Because it was originally 6 to 8 weeks was the initial diagnosis, but it's been
I mean, that's what they said
14
about
weeks.
That's what they said about Tank too.
Yeah.
And when Tank broke his foot in 2014, it was closer to like this timetable.
Yeah.
So, and they've had success. You don't have to rush guys,
Facts.
and they're not going to rush guys anyways. But what's up, Hank?
Why won't you tell me? Why don't you tell us?
About what?
Tell the people what they want to hear.
What do they
Tyron
wanna
Smith.
hear?
If Tyron
I can't do that. I tried to be optimistic Friday to make you
70%.
happy, and it didn't work. You wanted me to go above 50%. I went above 50%. He didn't play. So I'm going to say
50%.
50%. I'm going to say 50%. He will be questionable. I think. We'll see. Now, look, they do sound more optimistic this week than they did last week. Steven said, barring a setback, I think he's playing yesterday on the fan.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Not knowing what we do know about what just took place in that game on the defensive front for them, for the opposing team. I'm not even going to refer to them
So
anymore.
forget what happened. Last week.
Which game is it more important for Tyron to be there? Last week's game or this week's game?
This week's game, for sure. No doubt.
I agree.
Unbelievably, no doubt.
I would have taken him Sunday. I would have.
I would have loved
Over
him
this week?
Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Against,
The strength of Kansas City's defense.
Any week.
I agree. The strength of Kansas City's defense is Chris Jones in the interior. The strength of the Vegas defense is Max Crosby coming off of the edge.
Yeah.
So what are they taking over there? Can I just ask that question? What kind of supplements are they taking over there that they are juiced up the entire game?
The motor is
The
real.
motor is real on that side of the ball. Goodness gracious, you think it's preseason and somebody's trying to get a roster spot.
But Max Crosby has always been like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Max is he is everything on go.
Balls to the wall.
With him. But man, usually when we come in here on Monday, I watch the game twice. I couldn't watch the game twice on Sunday. I could only watch it once. But Chris Jones, man. Dog, yeah.
Dude.
95. Dak is still seeing 95. Like you stare at the sun, you close your eyes, and
gets
you
up
still.
off
He better change the numbers this week.
He's
He
still
better
seeing
change
this
the numbers.
dude because our offensive line got dominated. And that's why I asked the question about Tyron Smith because we need him back. Period. I mean, for our running game, there's so much to be desired. Our offense just sputtered, and you can't get anything going. I know a lot of people have been on Dak, but man, what could Dak do? Literally, what could Dak do? He had no time, even in the offense where he's as quick as any quarterback in the league at getting the ball off. He just had no time.
Yeah.
Period.
And watching the game back, because I didn't hear the broadcast Sunday, but Troy mentioned that he's not in rhythm. And I think people maybe want to compare, correlate it to the calf and all that. Jerry on the fan this morning said it's not an issue. I do think he was out of sync. When your protection's not there, look, he's got to make throws. And he didn't play as well as he needs to play. Everybody knows that. He's got to play better. But yeah, I think the protection, we said it yesterday, that was the biggest factor, I think, offensively. And look, you were right, too, because Mike said it yesterday. Jerry echoed it. They agree with you, Heck. They needed to run the ball more than they did Sunday. That's 16 carries, and that was a season low, by the way. I averaged it out. They were averaging 31 attempts or 32 attempts a game going in. Now, you've played with a ton of leads, but they probably should have strived for more balance in that game than they had.
And that's going to be something to talk about in tomorrow's show too, because I want to ask about the run, the rushing offense, the rushing attack, because it has not been great over the last month, really.
Since the Giants game.
Really, you're exactly right. Since the Giants game, there hasn't been the same level of success. So that's going to be a lot of what tomorrow's show is. But before we start taking calls, and we'll take some calls after our first break, but let's talk about this Las Vegas offense. Derek Carr and company, this has been such a crazy season for them off the field, and it's starting to translate on the field. The Vegas Raiders have lost 3 straight games ever since their bye week, and their bye week, which was the bye week that included the Henry Ruggs incident, and he's still being processed through all of that. He's been released. He is now no longer a part of the Raiders organization. John Gruden was a couple weeks before that. He was let go, parted ways by the Raiders organization. And then after that, Damon Arnett, first-round cornerback last year, taken out of the picture because of a social media video. So this has been a trying season for the Las Vegas Raiders from the get-go. And they at first were able to kind of weather the storm a little bit and won a couple games. But since that bye week, since the Ruggs deal and then the Arnett release, they've lost 3 straight, and they have not looked great. So offensively, what are the strengths of this team, and why is that not necessarily translated over the last couple of weeks?
Man, this team really is a hard team to gauge. And obviously, because of the controversy and everything that you just said, that's an understatement. I wouldn't have to deal with all of that as a team and then still have to go out and face opponents, but Coach Bisaccia, that used to be Rich Bisaccia, that used to be a special teams coach here, is done absolutely his best to try and get things on the road. This last 3-game slide for them has been bad. Defensively, they have looked like we talk about the motor and some of the things and players that they have, but you go back and you look at the film and you go, man, especially against the game against the Giants is one that I watched that in depth, and just seeing the faults in their defense and some of the guys that they have on the outside that are good scheme, but in the middle of their offense, in the middle of the defensive line, they have some problems. And I think we can exploit that just talking about the running game. But offensively, look, they haven't been able to do a lot since they've lost some of their key pieces. But Hunter Renfrow he's not a speedster. He's going to be a very technical wide receiver. But they have a guy, number 83, Darren Waller, and I'm really curious to see what you think about him, because in evaluating the tape on 83 and Derek Carr, that is his safety blanket. He wants to get the ball out of his hands. He wants to get the ball to number 83. Jacobs in the running game, okay, but they have a guy by the name of Kenyon Drake. If you guys forgot about him last year,
he's a dude.
20 carries, 164 yards, and 2 tubs on us.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. So, I mean, look, man, I yield the floor. So, you guys let me know what y'all think.
What do you think, Isaiah?
I think these guys are a passing team. However, to Heckman's point, they've had a heck of a rough year. That I don't even know how you can even play, but they've had a rough year. And this team is capable of a lot. This team is very capable. These guys are momentum type team, especially offensively. They have a lot of youth. They're the foundation. Let's go back to Gruden. The foundation of their team is hard-nosed players. That's the foundation of their team, right? Obviously, things are changing now. Head coach isn't there anymore, but the players are still there. And those guys were there because they were gutsy type, hard-nosed, get after it, balls to the wall type players, offensively and defensively. Jacobs at the running back position is a freaking horse if you let him get going, which you can't allow to happen. But these guys respect their offense, because as good as our offense is, they're third best in the league in passing. We're fifth.
Don't forget it.
I'm going to run that back. We're third. They're third in the league in passing. We're fifth in the league in passing. So we better respect what they can do offensively on that side of the ball. David Carr, get to him. If you can get to him, he'll turn the ball over. If you don't get to him, these guys are they're another juggernaut team. If you allow them to get confidence, they'll get rolling because they're athletic, they're tough. They got some cats that really don't care what you got to say or do. They're going to bust you in your mouth. They're going to keep fighting. They don't have any softies over there. So to that point, David Waller, Darren Waller, Waller's a dude. He's a big boy. He can run. He creates mismatches. A lot of his big plays come off of play action. So if you can negate their running game, then you can kind of negate what Waller does. Curse has his hands full. And then on the outside, obviously with Renfro, he's a dude too. He's 56 catches for 524. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's a guy. He's a pretty elusive route runner. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. What a stretch for Jaron Kearse. Travis Kelce,
good luck,
and
brother.
Darren Waller in 4 days. That's and hey, he had a nice pick. He had a nice pick in the game on Sunday.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Eddie and the Raiders digital team because they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Our friends with the Raiders, they've been through a lot this year.
Yeah.
Rich Bisaccia, to your point, he's a family guy. I think he's the perfect guy for them to step in and try to lead this team through all the things they've been through so far. Yeah. They're a good passing team. Derek Carr can sling it. We've watched it for years. They haven't been as prolific than they're in this 3-game losing streak, though. I mean, he racked up the yards the first month. He's been at 296, 261, 215 the last 3 games, all losses, and they've scored 16, 14, and 13 this past Sunday against the Bengals. And I talked about guys the Cowboys are missing yesterday. Tyron, Amari. I don't think those are excuses. I think those are facts. I think obviously those guys can help the Cowboys offense. Not having Henry Ruggs in their lineup is clearly making a difference. Yep. I mean, Heck and I talked about before the show, for years, this has been a team offense based on speed. They draft speed. They want speed. They want to get vertical, and they don't have that element of their offense right now. Waller's their guy, and he's an outstanding tight end, maybe the best in the league. But they don't seem to have that element right now, and they've been playing from behind, and it's been difficult. And they've also had some changes in their offensive line. They've changed out a couple spots in their interior because of injuries. So they haven't been as prolific. We'll see if they can get anything going in this game, though.
That's a great point because when you look at the Cowboys' defense, what has been the number one most consistent weakness all year long? Giving up the big play. That's consistently across the board been a weakness because they give up the big play quite a bit. The Raiders have 2 plays over 50 yards this season. One of them was to Henry Ruggs, who's no longer a part of the team, and that was a 61-yard touchdown. And then Bryan Edwards had a 51-yard score as well. So he's a decent receiver on the back end as well. I liked him out of South Carolina whenever the draft rolled around a couple years ago. But overall, you don't look at this team and you say they're built for the big play. I don't see that. I don't see them being built for the big play. I see them built for sustaining drives, moving the ball down the field, which, in my mind,
it's worse.
Oh, I was thinking it matched up better with the Cowboys' defense. You don't think so?
I don't.
Why is that?
Don't. It's easier to stop a team that relies on the big play. We just did it.
Okay.
We just did it. We stopped a team that relies on the big play. Kansas City's not built off of sustaining drives. Kansas City's built off of big plays, right? Tyreek Hill, you back your safeties up. You make sure those guys when he crosses the formation, when he crosses the field, that you have your backside safety cut him off and all those things. Teams that are built to sustain drives, those are the teams that wear you out. Mm-hmm. Those are teams that wear you out. If you allow them, they're equal opportunists, right? They give Jacobs the ball, he'll beat you down a little bit. Then you play action, you give Waller the ball, then you go to Renfro. And these guys are used to 10, 12, 14 play drives. Those are the teams you worry about because they'll just keep eating away at you. Because there's not one thing that you're waiting on. You're not waiting on them to make that one big attempt at a big play for you to get to capitalize off that mistake. They're not that team. So in my eyes, it's actually worse for us. Now they have less weapons, so that's always awesome.
Yeah.
Right. But in terms of holistic and their approach as a team, when they're third in the league in passing, these guys will chip away at you.
I was thinking more of the Cowboys are built for a matchup better than that. I feel like they're built to take on teams that are built that way.
Yeah, I mean,
that are ready to
But both of y'all are right, though.
I absolutely. But think about how dangerous is a team when they're third in the league in passing and they only have 2 plays over 50 yards.
Boom.
Yeah, but you got to sustain drives, and they haven't been able to sustain drives.
Lately, yeah.
Exactly.
These last couple games, I think they had lately 14 straight unsuccessful third down attempts going back to Kansas City in this Bengals game.
My Lord,
they're having trouble, and they've got Deshaun Jackson to try to
get that go juice,
get that vertical element back, but it hasn't connected.
I thought I was reading that wrong when I saw Deshaun Jackson's name. It's like why won't he just retire and go away?
He's been a problem here.
He keeps showing up for us.
I do not like that guy. He just comes out of the Salvation Army kettle or something. It's like, where did he come from? And here he is. But But you guys are right. I mean, either way it goes, I think first down and third down we've been played. Giving up the big run on first down, you're not getting off the field on third down is going to be important for us. This team is one that if you get on top of them, Derek Carr will make mistakes. Yes. He will turn the ball over. And we've seen where turnovers come in bunches for this team. I think the weakness for the Raiders is their offensive line. And I think Alex Leatherwood, the guy that they drafted, I think 17th overall, and everyone was surprised about him out of Alabama. He's a big old dude.
Right guard.
Yeah. Right guard. But he was originally a tackle.
Right. At Alabama, he was a tackle.
Yeah, so they tried him at tackle, and he was horrible. And then his PFF grade, as I'm trying to win this argument, his PFF grade was bad, and they moved him down to guard. But again, another really big guy that I think you could take advantage of on the offensive line. Our guys have got to pin their ears back and come after Derek Carr, period, dot, the end. Yeah. Leighton Vander Esch has to have a better game in coverage, in the run game. All of those things are going to be contingent on the success that we're going to have. But I just feel like as a matchup is concerned, even without having our weapons in Tank and Randy, I just feel like being able to attack these guys, get Derek Carr on the ground, he will make some mistakes and give us the ball.
So where should the bazooka play?
Oh, I was just about to ask that question.
There's so two things in this game. Because I understand where his value is on the edge. You can bring him all the time. But
the bazooka is Micah Parsons, by the way.
But
if you're just joining the show.
But also the way that we've seen that he can cover running backs out of the backfield. I mean, I'm really of the as the more he plays, I realize he can do it all. Oh. So why relegate him to one thing over another? Seeing him last week playing on the edge is like, boy, this boy he's hunting out here, and it's really hard to stop. But then there are other times where he's such a novice at rushing the passer that you see his moves kind of get confused. Now, does his win rate overlap that? Yes, absolutely. But I think linebacker-wise, Keanu O'Neal is going to have to do so much more. And if we can rely on our linebackers to do it, then I think we don't have any problems with putting him on the edge and leaving him there.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't. This is a game where we played last week against Kansas City. We know we can't get behind. We know you can't get behind.
And you got behind.
And you got behind. So it was a wrap from the get-go. This game is not a game that I want it to even be close. This is.
You want this to be Atlanta?
Yeah. I mean, I'm dead serious.
But why though?
Because these guys are built off of confidence. These guys are a momentum team, and they can snap into it just like doggone Thanos could snap his fingers. These guys can snap into it all of a sudden. Oh shoot, let's go. We're the freaking Raiders, and they go and they freaking go. And then you got to worry about Crosby and freaking Yannick and all these other cats start going and flying up the field. You don't want these guys to play with even a speck of confidence because they are a team that is dangerous. They have weapons now. Let's not confuse.
Yeah.
They've had a bad stretch here. They've had a bad year.
It's a team that started 5-2.
Absolutely, these guys are a threat in the AFC. So let's respect them. We need to get up. Please get up. Please get up. I'm begging y'all, Cowboys, get up. Let's not make this a competitive game because it's already a high profile game. Everybody's already going to be jacked up and juiced. These guys don't get this game all the time. Dallas does, right? So they have an opportunity to play on Thanksgiving. Everybody and their mama's going to be watching the game. The cousins, everybody overseas and on islands, they're all going to have the game turned on. And if the game is competitive, they will find the extra juice. So please, we need to get up early.
I just want to talk about the bazooka just real quick.
Go for it.
And I love that nickname. I've been a proponent of just keep him where they've done. He loves chess. Make him a chess piece. Move him all around. He can do so much for you depending on matchups. But you watch that game on Sunday and you're like, he's Von Miller at times. Like he could be Von Miller with that first step and just screaming off the edge, and it's really exciting. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with him. I don't know.
You fella, I sounded you.
I fluctuate week to week when I see him do that.
Leave him alone.
You sounded real Heckman-ish.
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone right now.
But ultimately, I think what they're doing is the right call. But sometimes he makes those plays, and you're like, this guy could be a 10-time Pro Bowl edge rusher if he wanted to.
I mean, he already told us that he can play any position on the field. So. And I believe that there's athletes that come around every so often that can have that impact no matter where they're at. This game, I agree with. He needs to be at the second level, and I feel like I say that every week. But there's a dude in that backfield that we need to keep an eye on, Jacobs. And there's also a dude that's going to be lined up with his hand in the ground that can run routes, and he's not small by any means. And we need somebody to be able to run out and take some shots on his chest, and he can't do that from the end position.
But I thought Hilaire coming back for Kansas City was that kind of matchup where you had to worry about, use him off the ball with his speed. And they said, you know what, we have to get to Mahomes, so we're going to put him there.
Hilaire is shifty. Jacobs wants to run through your chest cavity. Two different backs. Two totally different backs, right? Jacobs
Pollard and Zeke.
Yeah, exactly.
One finesse, one physical.
One finesse, one physical. Hilaire, you gotta guard him with multiple people. He's not a guy that you can just hey, you got
Kenyon
him no
Drake
time.
could be that guy for him.
Kenyon Drake is that guy.
Yeah.
Let's not let him get in there and get going.
Yeah.
I just wanted to shower him with praise for a second.
No, he's a beast.
Because 8 sacks in
So
10
good.
games, and really it's been 3 games out of 10, week 2 and 3, and then this last game where he's really been an edge rusher. Other than that, he's been a third down specialist.
He has more sacks than their best guy.
Big case.
All right, let's step aside. When we come back, we are going to take Cowboys Nation's calls.
Come on now.
Give us a call, 888-855-2297. We talk to you next on Talking Cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
It is a great people, great pay replay here on Talkin' Cowboys. You've heard it already. Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. You can join him to do great work with great people for great pay and apply right now at jobs@caliber.com. That's jobs@caliber.com. Alex,
shoot, how do you sit on that? What's that?
Freaking name, bro.
This is why I got back problems.
That's absolutely why you got back problems. That's a doggone door wedge.
Rob Phillips just pulled out.
No, you got to show that, Rob. Show that, please. What is
What?
that,
Come
bro?
on, P. What in the heck is going?
Front pocket.
I think I got like my middle school ID badge and all that. I just I don't throw things away. I'm not a hoarder, but I don't throw things
No, you
away.
just definitely just told on yourself.
Self
You're a
right
hoarder.
there.
Yeah, that right there.
That's disgusting.
Bro, I don't think there's not $1 bill in there, and that's still like that.
Yeah. It's Caliber Collision Wall.
You got a couple stacks in
That's
there.
a collision, all right.
Can we see your middle school ID badge?
I don't really think I have it, but I'll search for it.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to see it.
Yeah.
Your back
it'd
will
be
be
fun.
jacked up, bro.
It already is.
I will say
It already is.
my UNT student ID is still in my wallet too. So
Wow.
Yeah,
Right
but
there with
you're a lot younger.
He's like 6 months removed from it.
a little bit more.
He
Than
tries to
that.
use his UNT bars. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's actually, honestly, I have done that. Don't tell on me, but I've done that for
You
sure.
just told on yourself.
Definitely walked up and been
Nobody
like,
listening to the show, right?
Unbelievable.
all right, let's talk to Troy in Philadelphia.
Fresh off the monkey bars.
What's up, Troy? How's it going, my man?
Hey, man, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I love you guys, man. I normally don't get a chance to listen live, but holiday week and everything, so I get a chance to tune in.
Hey, Troy, did you just you're in Philly?
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I'm behind enemy lines.
Wait a minute, you're a Cowboy fan in Philly?
That's
Oh, you have no idea how much I get it.
Hey, man, I'm sending you a pound through, I don't know, digital pound right now. That's 100 right there, brother.
Bro, he's an insurgent.
He's doing God's work.
It's hard to go. I can't say that I'm a Cowboys fan if I'm just ordering my food, man. It's ridiculous.
Don't do it.
It's crazy. But look, man, I wanted to chime in, man, because I keep hearing this thing about the offense and how we had all these injuries. Tyron was out and Coop, and we didn't have CD for the second half. But I'm sorry, guys. I watched this defense ball out all season, and they have not been whole. Like, they didn't have their two top DNs in this game, and they neutralized the best quarterback in the world. And we're making excuses, and I'm not saying, you guys. I get Tyron matters. I get it. We saw that last year.
It's not just last year. Archer had the stat. They're 18-19 when he doesn't play career. It's a problem. It always is a problem.
Yeah, right. It is a big deal, but again, this defense is balling out without its best players, and we don't we're not making excuses for that. Like, they are balling out. They stopped or neutral. They didn't stop them, but they neutralized the best quarterback in the game without their best two DNs, and we're making excuses on the offense. I'm sorry, that can't be missing passes. We can't be dropping passes. Like, this is supposed to be an elite offense who everybody says can beat you however they want to beat you. But Kellen seems to want to beat you with the passing game. And he'll take the running game if it's working, but he seems to want to beat you with the passing game. It's hard for me to make excuses for the offense when we haven't seen this defense play the whole season. And if you really think about it, other than the Tampa game, when Tom just took it, Brady just took it, but the other two losses that we've had, it's been because the offense let us down. It wasn't the defense. It was the offense that let us down in both of those games. And this is supposed to be an elite offense, and that's what I keep hearing, and that's what I see when we're winning. But when we're losing, it's the offense that's letting us down.
Thank you so much for the call, Troy. You are the man out in Philadelphia. Keep doing great work out there. And honestly, he poses a great question because he's right to a certain extent. I don't know if you could blame the defense or the offense only for the Denver loss. That was a little bit of everybody. But you could blame the offense for the Kansas City loss, certainly.
Oh, yeah.
You could totally do that. But Denver was a little bit of everybody. And then, like you said about the Tampa Bay game, that was Tom Brady being Tom Brady at the end. You played well throughout that game. But why is that? Why do we make excuses? And once again, by we, I mean just basically Cowboys Nation, make excuses for the offense versus the defense, and the defense is still getting the job done. Is there that much of a discrepancy between the two sides, between the two units when they're missing their best pieces?
First of all, shout out to you being an insurgent in Philly, because that's tough.
Keep going.
Okay, that's certainly however, I don't disagree with you. Though that's fair analysis. That is very fair analysis in terms of those guys, failing on certain games, things of that nature. Understand this: it's not the same because it's harder to play offense. And some people may not digest that very well.
Boy, I tell you,
it's harder.
Players, boy.
It's harder to play. It's at those positions. It's harder to replace an offensive tackle versus replacing a defensive lineman or a defensive end. Mm-hmm. It's just more difficult. You can lose a defensive end that's getting paid like our guys are getting paid, and replace them with a guy that gives crazy Max Crosby effort. And you might not get all the production, but you're still gonna get a hell of a lot of pressure and put some stress on that offense. When you miss an offensive lineman it demoralizes you simply because there's so much technique that's required to be effective at those positions. Receivers, it's hard in this league at receiver. If you lose a receiver, it affects you in a major way too. Why? Because there's so much technique that goes in getting a release and just the savviness of getting in and out your breaks and things of that nature. You lose a running back, the league's starting to figure this out. You lose a running back, I can replace a running back. I can replace a running back. It may not be as effective, but it won't be that far of a drop-off, right? But there's just certain positions that you just can't afford to lose, and that, unfortunately, is the case with the Dallas Cowboys. You can't lose linemen.
Plus, I think the environment they were in was not conducive for a lot of youth on the left side of that line, and it was a factor in the game. It's not an excuse. It's a fact. Watch the game. There was a problem. And, look, everybody's right. They didn't make plays that were there to make. They didn't step up and make plays. The drops, the penalties, it all rolls into one. It's not just, they didn't have these guys that didn't win. They didn't make simple plays to win games. I'm not disputing that, but I also think we just talked about Micah Parsons for 10 minutes. You're missing your top two edge rushers, but he's changed this defense because he can play anywhere. You can plug him in, and he's got more sacks than anybody on the team. So they have more depth at that position this year than they do on the offensive line, based on what we've seen.
Yeah, may have been a wrong week to try and plug in a new left guard as well. And I'm not saying that Connor McGovern isn't better than Connor Williams, and I'm sure that's an ongoing competition. But whatever they're trying to put together, just the synergy between the offensive line may have changed so much so that you couldn't put out a dominating performance or one where the offense even got clicking. Look, I just feel as though we have this mentality in football as football fans, as people that appreciate the sport, that there's a next man up mentality. And that sounds good in theory, but I think what Isaiah is saying is that, look, when you replace guys like this on your offensive line, or you have skill position guys that you count on, rely on heavily, that are not there, it changes the whole complexity of your offense, and there's nothing you can do.
It's a technicality that's different than anything on the defensive side of the football. The fact that you have that continuity, that's been a buzzword around these parts since Mike McCarthy arrived, was continuity and continuing to have that relationship back and forth. And it's kind of what Rob said yesterday. I don't know if they would have thought Tyron Smith was inactive for the Kansas City game, I don't know if they make that change this week. I think if they knew going into the week that Tyron Smith was going to be out, I don't know if Connor Williams would have been taken out for Connor McGovern. I think it would have been the same five that we saw a week prior. Then you wait for Tyron Smith to do it. But I think they were probably disappointed in the fact that Tyron wasn't available. You look like you wanted to say something there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a toss-up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, I feel like they were working McGovern in there. I feel like for the weeks leading up to that, they were getting him warmed up.
And Jerry said it was a separate decision. I mean, they've seen the penalties. You're going to Arrowhead. Yep. They felt like they needed to make a change. Yeah. But yeah, I think it certainly would have helped to have that continuity. Yeah, right there next to you. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Ted in Houston. Ted, what's going on? You're on Talkin' Cowboys.
How's it going, guys?
What up, Ted?
Hey, I just wanted to say that I think Kellen is getting too cute out there on the red zone. He tries to go east and west instead of north and south, and I think he puts stalls in our offense there, and I think he could do a better job of, running it consecutive times with Zeke or Pollard, because the run game was there, looking back, and he just didn't run it consecutive times, and I think he just gets too cute. And I just think I think Mike needs to get in and, help out Kellen with the play call. What do you guys think?
Thank you, Ted, for the call. What do you guys think about that in terms of the red zone?
Well, P, you just said it. I mean, the coaching staff already knew that they went away from the run a little bit, and that's something they should have accentuated a little bit more. Last year, Kellen Moore, we've been talking about his red zone problems for a while, but this year they seem to cure a lot of them. We hadn't had any problems with it. And if we're going to go on a game-by-game basis, I'm fine with that too. We just didn't do well in the red zone this game. So you come up against a Las Vegas opponent that is horrible in the red zone. They allow their opponents to score 74% of the time when you get into the red zone. So I just think, sometimes you get a game where the right opponent comes in for you and can help you cure some of those woes or ills that you have.
Yeah, they got that TUSM. No.
The what?
They got the what? TUSM.
What is that?
It's a fix all. It's a hood thing. It's a hood thing.
Okay.
Well, I don't know who our sponsor is, so I don't want to.
There's a sponsor for everything.
There's a sponsor for everything around here. I don't disagree with you. I mean, but to Heckman's point, I mean, sometimes you just face the wrong opponent, man, or things just aren't clicking. Last week, things just weren't clicking. So I don't have any concerns with our red zones right now. I think that I think Kellen Moore is still young as offensive coordinator, and he's still learning. As great as he's been, people still have to give him grace because he's still going back and doing film study on himself and trying to improve, just like the players are.
Yeah, and just generally, he talked about throwing the ball too much, and that maybe there's a temptation when you've got man coverage on the outside.
It's open,
and you have trust in your receivers even without Amari. We trust our guys, like Dak throwing into the end zone against Charvarius Ward and tested him, and it was a pick, but he said, I'll give my guy a chance,
How windy was it in Kansas City?
Pretty windy.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
15 miles an hour?
Yeah, depending on gusts. I mean, pregame, it was very windy down there. McCarthy, what did he say yesterday? He didn't think it was a major factor, but he said it was like a 6 to 8 yard difference or something like that. Wow. It was windy. It was windy. Yeah.
All right, let's take our second break. When we come back, we'll take one more call and wrap things up here on this edition of Talkin' Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more, Essilor on Talkin' Cowboys. Isaiah hit it that time.
You buy it.
Yeah, break you
buy. I'll take it off of Kyle's check. You got ESPN checks.
Whoa.
You got ESPN checks, man.
Stop
Break,
it.
I cry.
Yeah.
That side of the table is doing great.
Yeah, man. Seriously. Can we learn how to do that? Can we at least get on ESPN for like the little cornhole or something like that?
Cornhole.
With CBZ?
Ooh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
CB, yeah. I'll be your cornhole partner.
We've got
don't volunteer to be his partner.
I'll coach. I will be your partner.
It's better be my partner than be against me.
That's cocky.
Is that a challenge?
No, it is a challenge. It's totally it's a fact.
I throw things for a living, sir.
Ask Heckma.
And he takes you to a bar where they have pictures of him everywhere.
Oh,
it's
dude,
like,
don't do it.
Well, is that a shrine?
Bad
Hey, I will play you in cornhole if you play me in bowling.
I don't.
Okay,
let's do it.
I'm horrible at bowling.
And Isaiah's horrible at cornhole, so this is
that is not true, sir.
All right.
I mean, I think my best game was like a 150.
Let's do it.
I have custom boards made.
Woo!
Yeah,
that's right.
You're not the only one. Then,
I know I'm not. Cornhole's real.
He got it.
I have a client that I train that her and her husband travel for cornhole tournaments.
It's not a game.
I believe it. I believe it.
All right. Let's get one more call in here before we wrap things up. Jordan in Maryland. What's up, man? You're on Talking Cowboys.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
What's going on, Jordan?
Be more.
Hey, so I want to ask you guys, how concerned are you with Tyron Smith's health for the rest of the season? And if, let's say he was to come back and re-aggravate his injury again, what can Dallas do to avoid what happened on Sunday? I mean, come January, we're going to have Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and Dak's face. They have to figure something out. And this message is kind of just for Cowboys Nation. It was just one game. I just watched Buffalo get stomped on their home field 41-15. Tampa just lost a couple weeks ago to Washington. It's a week-to-week league.
Rams have lost 2 straight.
The Rams lost, and then they have to play Green Bay on Sunday. So you're going to have a chance to jump one of these teams in the NFC. I don't think it's all doom and gloom like people may seem. They're making it seem like it's the same old Cowboys. But I've seen enough from this team throughout the season that I think that they're legit. I think that they have a chance to really make a run in the postseason if they can stay healthy on the offensive line. And I'm not giving up on this team. I have them getting to the NFC Championship game, and I got them playing Green Bay.
Let's do it.
I don't think seeding doesn't matter. What matters is you get into the postseason and you're determined to win. Your willingness to fight, that's going to keep them going. All right, bye.
Oh, okay. Chris wanted to end that one.
We're way over. Come on. We got to get to
okay. All right. Chris is trying to hurry us up.
I only a 3-minute call.
Man, I was going to ask him to send the Obey.
Yeah, I liked what he was saying.
He's right. He's right.
He's exactly right.
Every team's got flaws, and it's a long ass season. There's 7 games left. A lot of time to get it right, but you got to stay healthy. Like you said, you got to stay healthy. You can't be too banged up.
No. And offensive line, are you concerned about Tyron Smith long term? Yes, no, maybe? Because my answer is a resounding yes.
Stephen Jones said no once he comes back. So to me, if it's more about the high ankle than the Spurs, because the Spurs don't go away.
Yeah.
But if it's more about the high ankle, then yeah, if he comes back, they're not concerned about it. We'll see.
Isaiah?
I'm not confident.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too.
I need him to be healthy, but I agree with P that, if they feel like the last 3 weeks and giving him off is going to have him healthy for the long stretch, then I'm all for it because we got some heat coming, and December hasn't been kind to us. So let's make it work.
No, not at all. All right, Jordan, once again, thanks for the call. Thanks to everybody who gave us a call today. But that does it for us here on Talking Cowboys. Join us tomorrow. We're previewing the Cowboys offense versus the Vegas defense. And we give our picks for the weekend as it's a Say It With Your Chest Wednesday on Talking Cowboys. For Chris Beam in the back, for Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow on Talking Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!